Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I want everyone that is listening to us to understand that we need to now have a moment of silence for the internet that is, as we speak, being dismantled, being killed. The next 30 minutes, I am going to cover exactly what is happening to the internet, what is developing, what is unfolding. I want to show you another article out of iPower, where Bell Canada and TELUS, formerly owned by Verizon, are admitting that they are planning to go to this system. I want to go ahead and show you that article on screen now. Now, if you go to the story, Secret Plan to Kill the Internet by 2012 leaked, up on prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com right now, you will notice that as you scroll through the article, there are more than 40 links. Now, these are links to Internet 2's own corporate meetings, their own conferences, going back as early as the year 2000. These are congressional reports. These are press releases put out by Comcast, put out by Verizon, put out by many others. You will also see a video on the screen. There are hundreds of versions of this all over the web, some with 600,000 views, some with 800,000 views, some with 300,000 views. There are millions and millions of views of the video that you see on your screen if you're a PrisonPlanet.tv viewer. If you're a radio listener, you can go to PrisonPlanet.com and watch the video. And to simplify it, there's a bunch of different things they're going to do to shut the old web down over the next few years and force you onto a regulated, controlled, paid, not just paid subscription, but also taxed internet where they control where you can go, not just through ending net neutrality, but through a lot of other systems that they're going to be using, including physically shutting down the backbone of the web, shutting down the old switchers and routers and corridors for what you know of as the web today, also allowing the old system to deteriorate before it is finally switched off. They say they're going to call that a collapse or shutdown, but they're orchestrating this. This is like putting toll roads on an existing road. It's just on the internet. We'll be right back and give you the absolute facts, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us. All right, I'm going to put it back up on screen, the article at prisonplanet.com. It's also over at Infowars.com. Secret Plan to Kill the Internet by 2012. Let me first play the video, one of the videos responsible for a resurgence of people being concerned about this. Now, I'm glad they're doing this, but it's also very frustrating to me to know without a doubt, to have the stated facts by the telecoms, by the United Nations, by ICANN, based here in the U.S., that they are going to do this, by the universities, by hundreds of corporations. This has been the stated plan. I learned about the full extent of this in about 2001. I had seen rumors of it before that. But in one article that Paul Watson did, it goes through all of it. Every single bit of it. I mean, this whole thing is hyperlinks to mainstream news, giving you a piece here, a piece there. But if you go to Internet 2 itself, and you go to their website and to the other industry groups that are pushing all this, you can find out the exact facts. So let me just play here on screen for you a few minutes of this piece. Here it is.
Hi guys, this is a new iPower clip and today we have some news about net neutrality. And my name is Tanya and this is the crew. This is Dean, Reese, Ian, and Chiran. I guess Reese will be starting to...
Yeah. I'll give you guys a little recap. For the people who don't know the news yet, what's happening is information has leaked out about all significant internet providers all over the globe, how they are planning to actually drastically limit and commercialize internet access by the year 2012. This means that by then you will actually only be able to access a small bunch of commercial websites for which you'll have to pay a certain standard fee, and if you want to visit any other website that's not in your sort of like television-like package, you will have to pay something extra. You will have to pay extra subscriptions for every other site you visit. Now, this isn't just about the internet getting expensive. This is about the internet just disappearing, because all those other sites won't get any visitors anymore, because you have to ask yourself, who will visit any, sort of smaller website that they have to pay a subscription for? Their visitor counts will go down drastically, and it will all just disappear over time. This will happen pretty quickly. We actually have a contributor to Time magazine who's doing an article about our information, and because we got it from inside sources who didn't want to reveal themselves. But this guy from Time, who contributes to Time magazine, actually has now official sources from major internet providers like Bell Canada, TELUS, formerly owned by Verizon, who officially confirmed all of our story. The only thing that they didn't confirm was the date, 2012, because they thought it may actually happen sooner in Canada. So that's even more unsettling. Just in case you're wondering who we are and why we are, giving you this information, the thing is, we are internet activists, and we've been very active on the net neutrality front for years now. So that's why we've built up a lot of relations with the industry and with the media. The article will soon be published, probably in Time magazine, with all the confirmations from official sources. So, for those people who are in doubt and stuff, just definitely check that out.
And what's really important, what we're going to focus our time on, is actually organizing the people, bring people together, so we can actively do something about this, because that's what it's about. I mean, the reason we're making this clip is not to announce doomsday or whatever. We have hope, and that's why we're making this clip. That's what motivates us to make this clip, is the hope to make sure this doesn't happen. And how can we make sure? It's the first step to do is, like we said last week, is spread the word. But in a second step, we have to actually come together, unite our forces, and do something together.
The internet was set up by DARPA. It was built by the Pentagon. And they've had it going back into the 70s, even before that. I mean, we've got emails from the 70s and 80s where White House staff were communicating with different federal agencies over, quote, email or electronic mail. When Al Gore said that he had some vote in the Senate in the early 90s before he became vice president, to create the internet, that is just absolutely asinine. The internet, you can go read this in mainline encyclopedias, did not begin in the 90s. It began in the early 1960s. That's when it was conceived, and it was in use between secret government agencies, the scientific agencies, back in the late 60s. It was widely adopted in the 70s and was in almost all major government institutions by the early 1980s. So let's get that straight. The government built it. And what they said they were going to do in 2001 was have 50 global corporations and 50 global international universities will house the new hubs and the new backbone of Internet 2, which they were already building then. It is now in place. They've laid the cable worldwide. They've got the satellites, all of it. And to get on Internet 2, you're going to have to sign agreements. It's like you're going to have a subdomain like MySpace. And you will go, generally pay to have a membership there, then you'll have a place, like you have a YouTube account, or you have a MySpace account, or you have a Flickr, or a Facebook account. But then you sign an agreement where they can regulate you, they can censor you, they can expunge your account whenever they want, they track who you are. You're going to have ID of who you are to be on that system. And they argue, well, it's a corporate/private/government system, and so you don't have to have an internet. You don't have to be on Internet 2. You just have to agree if you want to be on our backbone. That's why we say MySpace is the model of the Trojan horse for Internet 2. That's in their own words. Remember in 2004 and 2005, Cogent and Level 3, two big backbone peer-to-peer providers, not even the biggest, but in the top 20, they had a fight with each other for 2 weeks. And they had several fights, and that a third or more of the web was just down. I mean, 30-40% in some cases of the websites I try to visit weren't physically down. But from where I was at, I couldn't get routed to it because they had shut that down. So they're not just going to tax the web and tax email. They're not just going to force you onto Internet 2. They are going to shut down the old web. You're saying, fine, I just won't be on Internet 2. Well, no, it's like putting a toll road on an existing road. Do you understand? So we're going to break all this down after this quick break. This is the full story, and we'll give you the time frame from their own documents. Stay with us. The multinational corporations have now lost over 60% of their newspaper circulation. TV cable networks are falling apart. The choices, the free speech, the variety, the diversity of the internet being free and open is destroying them. They have to do what they're doing now. Okay, so they want to tax the web, they want to regulate it, they want to make you thumb scan. You notice a lot of the new keyboards have a thumbprinter on them. They say by law they want to make it a crime if you don't thumbprint when you get online, an ID.